Guardians of the Nation, what is going on, guys? Sly here, and thanks for checking out the weekly ritual that is the Weekly Reset Guide. You know, it's almost turkey time for those of us out there who celebrate Thanksgiving, and that means there are plenty of games out, tons of things to do, and December is right around the corner. So on top of all the crazy amount of good games here and on the way, Sparrow Racing League will also be back here very, very soon. I expect we'll hear more about that in the weekly update this Thursday. So on top of all that, the Division fans have some new content to chew through today. Survival DLC has dropped along with all the fixes from Update 1.4. It is a great new chapter for the Division. So if you own the Season Pass, it is well worth another look. Alright Guardians, let's do the damn thing. It's Tuesday, November 22nd, and this is Sly Nation's Rise of Iron Weekly Reset Guide. Hope everyone's week is off to a badass start, and if you're not off for Thanksgiving yet, hold on y'all, it's on the way. Okay, well, as usual, we're starting up here in orbit and checking out the Crucible first. So our first playlist to start us off this week is Doubles. Nice, I haven't seen Doubles in quite a while. Anyways, pretty much Doubles is Skirmish -1. Still a ton of fun. Wow, that kind of rhymed. Anyway, next up, one of my favorite game types, and that is Mayhem Clash. Crazy amounts of chaos, supers, grenades, heavy everywhere, tons of points, and everyone goes in looking for a good time. It's no sweaty nastiness. And as usual, with Trials of Osiris coming to a close yesterday, Elimination is back up here in the middle, filling the spot until this coming Friday. Alright, next, who's ready for some ghosts? Let's check out the Nightfall. Starting with the modifiers first, we have Epic, heavily shielded, highly aggressive, enemies appear in great numbers. Following that, fresh troops, some enemy squads have been fortified with additional reinforcements. Next up, match game, enemy shields are resistant to all unmatched elemental damage, and then Airborne is next. Players deal more damage while in the air, and finally Catapult. Grenade recharge rate is greatly increased. You know, I hate match game, but with no burn to mow you down with, it should not be bad at all. So let's hop on in and check out what we're up against.
Guardian, we've picked up a high gain transmission. Origin point is somewhere along the coast, near the Cosmodrome.
Я в опасности. Системы повреждены.
Super Shank! This should be pretty easy, guys. Just watch out for those shanks that have shields. You'll need solar damage weapons, so a fusion rifle, galley, hell, even sleeper simulant would do some work here. And by the way, I checked out the start, and it's fallen, so no worries. You know, I actually prefer Taken now over the others, but in any case, it's all good. Alright, onward, mis amigos. Next, we're checking out the Siva Crisis Heroic playlist, and Epic's little bro, Heroic, is there to greet us. Enemies appear in great numbers and are more aggressive. Next, Solar Burn. Solar damage from any source is greatly increased. Following that is Small Arms. Primary weapon damage is favored, and finally, Ironclad. More enemies have shields. So, depending on the strike, of course, this should be an easy week. Razor Lighter, Galley, Sleeper Simulant, these will all be your best friends this week. If you want to get nostalgic, you can even bring along the Vex Mythoclast or the Vision of Confluence. Solar Burn along with Small Arms will bring up the damage enough to actually kill stuff. A blast from the past, and that's always worth it. Alright, so while we're still up here in orbit, let's check out the challenges for the raid this week. Starting out with good old King's Fall, we're midway between the challenges, and Golgoroth is your challenger for this week's Kingfall raid. As for Wrath of the Machine, it's time to get a little revenge on that dude Axis. After the craziness of 2 weeks ago, it's time to pop in there and show this dude how it's done. Alright ladies and gents, that is it for the goodness up here in orbit, so our next stop is to the Iron Temple, and of course, my boy Shiro is always the first stop. So let's take a look at his Iron Lord bounties first, and then we'll check out the class items. So first on the list, Shakatumi, use arc damage to kill Fallen. Next, Pull the Plug, kill Fallen Majors and Ultras. After that, Archon's Forge Captains complete Captain encounters in the Forge, and finally Archon's Forge Servitors complete Servitor encounters in the Forge. Alright, next, we're going to check out some of these class items, and starting with the Manlock, we have Fellwinter's Iron Bond, 33-34 Intellect Discipline. Yolder's Iron Sash is next, 35-32 Discipline Strength, and finally for the Hunter, we have the Mantle of Perun, which is 33-33 Intellect Discipline. No max rolls this week, which is unfortunate. Alright, thank you, Shiro. Next up is Tatara Khan, or as I like to call her, Granny T. Anyway, let's go see if she has some crazy artifact rolls this week. And first up, Memory of Yolder, which removes the sprint cooldown, and it's at 76 to 74 Discipline Strength. Memory of Silumar is next, 106 Discipline, and it reduces dot damage in the Crucible. It's great to have as a backup in case you run into some of those Thorn users. And last on the list, we have Memory of Scory. When your super is full, it helps charge nearby allies' super. Comes in at 75-89. Intellect Discipline, not too bad, but we don't really have anything amazing here. Alright, well, that does it for the temple. Next up is to our boy Shax over in the tower. So let's piece up out of her and head over that way. Now, if y'all remember, we had Mayhem Clash as the primary weekly Crucible playlist for this week, so that's a pretty good indication that this week Shax will have Back to Basics. Exercise your skills in the Clash match type. So, all you need to do, complete 7 matches, grab 50 primary kills, 25 assists, and 25 ability kills, and you, my friend, are done. For myself, ability kills are always the hardest ones to finish, but in Mayhem Clash, that should not be a problem at all. Alright, well, thank you, Shax, my boy. Next, we're going to take a look at the factions this week, and once again, guys, we are stuck holding on to Raid Spin Metal. New Monarchy is accepting Helium Fragments, Dead Orbit is taking Relic Iron, and then the Future Warcold, the FWC, is also taking Helium. So if you have some Helium or Relic Iron to get rid of, then you know the place. Alright guys, that pretty much sums up all of the relevant stuff for this week, but like usual, I go over everything in the reset. So if that's all you needed, thanks for watching, but for the rest of you, it's off to the reef. And of course, at the reef, my girl Petra is up, and of course, it's all about the bounties. First in line, Queen's Wanted Bounty, and this week it's Baroness Greyris on Venus. Following that, we have Kill 12 Named or Consumed Fallen Hive Cabal or Vex on Mars, and then finally Kill 100 Taken. Moving on to Varix and his Arena of Death, we'll start with his bounties as well. First up, Close Still Counts. Use grenades to kill enemies in level 41 Prison or the Challenge. Shock Trooper is next. Use arc abilities to kill enemies in level 41 PoE or the Challenge. And then the final bounty is Firefighter. Use solar abilities to kill enemies in the Prison of Elders or the Challenge. And of course, we could not forget about the bonus modifier, which is Melee Kill Bonus. Melee kills are worth more points. Okay guys, last stop, the Court of Oryx. Now this is one exotic farmer's dream. This week's Tier 3 Court of Oryx boss is Kagor, and that, my friends, wraps us up. As always, thank you guys so much for continuing to watch my channel, Sly Nation. It means the world to me, and don't forget to keep your eyes peeled for some more Mass Effect and Division news, as the first ever look at gameplay will be happening at the Video Game Awards for Mass Effect, and the Division's new DLC is live right now. So go ahead, jump in there, and get to it. As I always say, y'all, could not do this without the fans and loyal subscribers out there of Sly Nation. So as always, you guys and girls rock. For those new to the channel, feel free to follow me on Twitter at Sly Nation. It is the best place to find out about all my new videos or upcoming news about our favorite games. Always a pleasure, Guardians, and until next time, this is your boy Sly. Later, y'all.